Pulavinaka to my listeners on Talanoa with Dr. T. This is my presentation for the 7th of May 2020. And the topic that we will be talking about will be the BILIBILI, which is the watercraft made of bamboo. Secondly, will be the topic of the usefulness of this tree or plant, BITU or bamboo. And the third one, we will be talking about some oral traditions on the turtle, Vonu. Naka for tuning in. And here I've got the map of Fiji, and this is a good opportunity for all of us to reorientate our thinking and understanding of the beautiful islands of Fiji, and knowing the different places and place names, and learning the meanings of them too. Today our key areas of study will be the islands of Koro in the middle of Fiji, in the Koro Sea, and the island of Kadavu, which is to the south of BILIBILI. So here are the various topics that we will be talking about. On the left-hand side were the topics that we discussed on Tuesday, looking at the uses and some of the idioms associated with the Wangavakaviti, or the traditional Fijian canoe. And on the right-hand side are the topics that we'll be talking about today. And if you see number 4, it says Tutu Wakabanua. I'll also be talking about that in the class, so that the kids can be able to know the different traditional names that we are associated with in Fiji, including our titles, our traditional positions in the village, our manu. We have special animals and fish that we are connected to, as well as our plants or trees, or even flowers. So these are the homework that were given for week 1, week 2, and week 3. It's on the main theme of who am I, or they o yao. So I hope that you've had the chance to work on your homework. For those of you who are English speakers, I deliberately have this homework written in Fijian because I really want to push our learners to get out of your comfort zone and try and find out the words that are on this chart. So it's a good learning methodology. So here I just want you to again learn how to introduce yourself in Fijian. So we'll start with number 1. Number 1, Naya dhangu o. Naya dhangu o tarisi. Number 2, Na nongu matinitu o. Na nongu matinitu o mburimbasang. Number 3, Na nongu koro o. Na nongu koro o. Na nongu koro o na tokalau. Number 4, Na nongu koronivasu o. Na nongu koronivasu o nukunuku. So here again are the different provinces of Fiji, including Rotuma. And if you notice some of the numbers here, number 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, and 13, I've got other words associated with these provinces. These are the Wuti Nivanua. The Wuti Nivanua. So these were the actual traditional names that these places were named after. And they also have meanings. And these were often used when there's a tambua presentation or kava presentation or any of those traditional salutations that is actually uttered by the speaker when they're presenting the yangona or the tambua. So I will just read them as I go, and I would like you to, do your own research in finding out what the meanings of these words are. So number 2, the kau ni tambua. The kau ni tambua. Number 3, lalangavesi. Lalangavesi. Number 4, nadolase. Nadolase. Number 5, wanirewa. Vuani rewa. Number 7, Thau matalevu. Thau matalevu. Number 8, Nambuke mbuke. Nambuke mbuke. Number 9, Namata nikutu. Namata nikutu. Number 10, Nakuru wakarua. Nakuru wakarua. Number 12, Burimbasanga. Burimbasanga. And number 13, Koro levu. Koro levu. So now we'll go to the BILIBILI, which is the bamboo raft. And it's not often given a special acronym here, which I've put here, which is OHMS. And there's a reason why OHMS is referred to this beautiful bamboo raft. This is a bamboo raft at the Fiji Museum. So if some of you have been to the museum, you'll notice or remember that we have BILIBILI in the museum. So can you say repeat it after me? BILIBILI. Yeah, BILIBILI. Bili on its own means to push. Yeah, bili on its own means to push. It's a verb. But when it's doubled as BILIBILI, it becomes a noun, which is what you're looking at. Yeah, it's a bamboo raft. So the OHMS story that is associated with the bamboo raft is that when it comes down the river, it's going forever. Yeah, it's not returning to where it started from. Often they say OHMS, no come back. Once it goes down the river, that's it. You have to rebuild another one. Just because the bamboo raft cannot be taken upstream. Yeah, it can only go downstream. Isn't that cool? So these are the places where the BILIBILI or bamboo raft is often used in the provinces of Namosi, in Tailevu, especially in Wenimbuka, and Netasiri. And they're made from bamboo. So the word for bamboo is BITU. And these three places, they actually have large rivers that are named after these individual places that I just said. So if you look at point 3, we have the Wenimbuka River, Wainimala, and Waindina. So these three rivers, when they join together, it forms the Wailevu, which is the Rewa River as we know today. So you know that the Rewa River is the river that flows beside the town of Nosori, and the same river that goes beside the Nosori airport. So there you go. Yeah, so that's kind of a good way to know that the word Wai is Fijian for water, and Wai is associated with rivers or any form of water, whether it's a pond or whether it's a river or whether it's a stream. And it takes 3 to 4 days to travel down on BILIBILI from Naitasiri, Namosi, and Wenimbuka to come down all the way to Nosori for them to sell their goods. In the past, they used to sell bananas so that our parents at that time can be able to make some money and pay for school fees. So here we are in terms of the various types of BITU, and the 3 that I have here is BITU Kau, BITU Ndina, and BITU Sivi. Okay, so these are the 3. So the BITU Kau is the variety that the BILIBILI is made from. The BITU Ndina is where the walls of the house is made from. So if you notice in some villages, in Netasiri and Namosi, some of their houses are made of bamboo. The BITU Ndina is a species for that purpose, for building of the homes, the houses. The BITU Sivi is what it is used to make the fences around the house. And then there's on the right hand side, you've got the various names. So in Kadavu, we call BITU Ndubu, and some Polynesian names, they call it Kofe, Ofe. In Hawaiian, they call it Ohe. And another place here is called Koe. So interesting to see the various names for this particular plant, yeah, BITU. And then we also have the Fijian idiom, which is the Posa Bakaviti, which reads, Vakanga Mboko Nambukambitu. Vakanga Mboko Nambukambitu. That means it's something that ends suddenly and it has no result, immediately, because for the BITU, it has a very powdery, ash and it disappears very quickly. Once the wind blows, it's gone. So that's kind of like something that starts and then ends quickly. Nobody knows what happened to it. There's another one here that is associated with Vonu, and I really kind of enjoy it because it's been a long time that I've seen it again, but I put it here in Fijian. You can learn how to read it if you are a Fijian English speaker. So try and pronounce it. So here it says, Tangitangida nayaloka ni mate ni Vonu. Tangitangida nayaloka ni mate ni Vonu. So it's kind of translated as to cry for the eyes of the turtle. Yeah, to cry for the eyes of the turtle. And that's a very interesting proverb that refers to someone crying or wanting something that is really hard to get. Because for turtles to be captured or turtles to be presented, even to get them is very hard, because they are seasonal animals, and so that's what this idiom is for, to cry for something that is difficult to achieve or to get. And then these are some other types of BITU. BITU Nivalangi, first one, this is the introduced BITU, BITU Sanisani. So these are the BITU that are used for making spears and for making tools. That's really interesting because it's quite strong. Thirdly, also they used to have the BITU for putting the tapa prints on it, BITU ni kesa kesa. So yeah, through my research I found out that women up in the interior of Fiji, they used to make masi too, and the men used to actually print masi as well. Yeah, fascinating, to see the various types of BITU. So I'll just leave it here for you to read, and then you can do your own research. Now, another finding that I found out is that we used to have BITU Nipakatangi, or the nose flute, but today no one plays it anymore except a gentleman in Tailevu, in Nanano, and his name is Kali. Kali, let me see. Okay, let me get his name first, so I can make sure that I say the right name for him. But he is the only one. He's 83 years old now. He's the only one that knows how to play it. And you can watch his video on my Talanoa with Dr. T page on YouTube, as well as my Facebook page. So I'll show you some pictures here of some BITU Kali. So these were used as pillows or headrests. So again, another use of the bamboo. Yeah, and we have some of these bamboo headrests in New Zealand as well as in England. And I'm sure there's others in the Smithsonian Museum in Washington, D.C. and in Australia as well. I just want to acknowledge the role of the Matusow. This is one of the tutu wakabanua, or the traditional roles that a lot of our Fijians are born into. So if your tutu wakabanua is the Matusow, then you are the carpenters or you are the woodworkers. So it's amazing what they can do. They can build houses, they can build boats, they can carve the lali, the drums, carve the Talanoa, which is the cover bowl, as well as the takona. Takona is the wooden pounder to pound food. So we usually cook the ndalo and the uto when it's cooked, and then it's thrown into this bowl, and then it's pounded, and then we make desserts out of it. So amazing, yeah? Even the houses itself, the wood for the interior, it's all created by the Matusow clan. So now we go to the topics of the Vonu. There's different types of turtles. So the first one is a hawksbill turtle, and in Fijian it's called taku. Yeah, taku. The word taku is still used today. They eat jellyfish, and they also eat the ngari, the crabs, and seashells. So it's a carnivore. But when you look at the green turtle, which is the Wonu roka, it's vegetarian. So interesting to see the hawksbill turtle is a carnivore and the green turtle is a vegetarian. But this one here is what we call the ikambula. This is a large turtles that it's very even rare for it to be captured in Fiji. They're normally out in the deeper ocean, and that's why they call it the ikambula, because they're always out there, out in the deep ocean, and it's we don't usually see them in comparison to the hawksbill and the green turtle. And these are just some of the data that are collected, that some of the large Ikambula, the one that was recorded was 8 feet in length and 2 tons in weight. Yeah, fascinating, right? And also the Vonu, they are not really captured by using spears. They are actually captured in nets. And they are the Ngonendau, which is another Tutu Wakavanua, they are the only ones that capture them and prepare them for the chiefs. In the olden days, the turtles are only specific foods for the chiefs, and it's only eaten at certain times of the year. So they also have, the way of conservation in the way they think about their environment, and they know that it's rare to capture a turtle, and when turtles are captured in those days, they are often prepared for the turanga, for the chief. So I just want to share a story from the island of Koro and the island of Kadavu. So these 2 islands, these are the islands where the calling of the turtles are still practiced today. So in Koro, it's on the village of Nacamaki. The name of the turtle there is Tuinaikasi. And only a certain Matangali, they are part of the whole tradition of calling Tuinaikasi to come up and float on the ocean upon listening to a certain calling. So amazing, right? And it still happens today. So the rules is that you're not allowed to take photos or no videos, and also you're not allowed to point. They're quite sensitive. When this happens, they actually go back down into the ocean, or the situations where they actually don't come up at all. So Tuinaikasi, this is a male Vonu or turtle that is only called in Koro Island. On the other side, we've got Namuana in Kadavu, similar, but it's a female Vonu, and the name is Raundalive, and the mom is Tinedambonga. So there was a story in the olden days where this mom and daughter, they decided to go over to collect some fish and sell fish out in the reef. And before they know it, when it was time to come back to the village, it was too late, because there was a canoe full of fishermen from Talanoa in Nambukilevu. When they saw them, they took them by force and threw them into the Wangavakaviti, their boat, and then they turned around from Namuana and then tried to sail down towards Nambukilevu. But as they threw them into the boat, there was a big storm. Out of the blue, the storm started to build up, strong winds, and then water started coming into the boat. And then the men from Talanoa realized that that what they've done is not good. So they actually tried to bail water out. They couldn't. And then the only thing they thought of was they need to maybe take these 2 mother and daughter back to where they were forcibly taken from. Anyway, before that actually happened, the mother and the daughter, Tinedambonga and Raundalive, changed into turtles, into Vonus, and then they were thrown out from the boat and back into the sea. And though they are the turtles that are being called in Namuana. So that was the story that we've collected and sharing them with the children, so that in the future, when you actually go to Fiji, make an effort to visit the village of Nacamaki on the island of Koro, province of Lomaiviti, and also visit the village of Namuana, a province of Kadavu in the southern part of Fiji. So that's the story that I shared on Thursday, but I want to share with you in the English version, so you are also included. So yeah, thank you for your time, and again, thank you for subscribing to my YouTube channel. This will be the place where I will be uploading my videos and just talking about various topics about Fiji, about our history, about our language, and sharing them particularly with our young ones, because I think it's very important that our younger generation are familiar with these stories. So just thanking my team for helping me, Leo for editing my video, Rita, Merwe Rita for being my social media queen, and Kali Wunindilo being my cultural advisor. So it's a family project, and we want to thank you all for joining me on this special podcast. And I will see you next time. Madimanda.